So what are some of the causes that can cause some of these symptoms or these conditions that you might be experiencing? Previously we talked about cause versus symptom. Again, symptom is what you're experiencing. Symptom is the malfunction that your body and the warning signal that your body is sending out that there's something wrong. So for example, a headache, hypothyroidism, brain fog, fatigue, low back pain, whatever your symptom is, that's your brain that's your body letting you know, hey, there's something going on here, there's a problem. So what is the cause? What are some of the most common causes that we see? Well, if you remember from some of the previous portions that we talked about, you've got the brain function, you've got structure, and you've got nutrition. Anything that's affecting those areas can really, or the function of the organs associated with those areas can really be what is the cause of what's going on. So I've got a little cheat sheet here to make sure I can get through most of these, but some of the most common causes that we see in our practice, the first one is stress. Stress is a very, very common and very detrimental effect of our lifestyle. If you have a job, if you drive down the road, if you have children, if you're married, if you own a business, if you live, you deal with stress in your environment. There are three types of stress. There's chemical stress. Chemical stress is the example of the gases that we breathe in driving down the road, the cosmetics that women put on their face, the perfumes that we use, deodorants, just all the chemicals that we're exposed to every day in our food and in our containers and in our cars and in our houses. All these chemicals do have an effect on the body. So that's chemical stress. Emotional stress, that's relationships or job stress or any kind of a stressful event that's in the life. And most of us live such a fast-paced and hurried lifestyle, we deal with a lot of emotional stress. So that's a very common cause of stress in the body. And then another cause of stress is physical stress. Car accidents, poor posture, repetitive use injuries, different things like that, different physical stressors that we put into our lifestyle can cause stress in the body, can cause malfunction in the body. These are causes that have to be addressed. You have to find them and you have to address them. The next one, inflammation. We live in a very pro-inflammatory society. Our diet is full of chemicals and full of constituents of the food that lead to inflammation in our body. Some of the stresses that we talked about before can lead to inflammation in the body. So we have to determine, is inflammation a part of what you're dealing with, what's causing the inflammation, and let's get that out of there. The next one, and this is extremely important, especially in our society, is sugar handling. If almost every single patient that comes into my office that is experiencing symptoms has some kind of a sugar handling problem. It usually comes from the way that we eat or the way that we don't eat. If we eat too long in between meals, if we're eating high carb foods, if we're following the traditional food pyramid that the government's telling us this is a great way to eat, it's actually quite detrimental to our health, and it's what's actually killing us. Grains, these healthy carbohydrates that we're supposed to have so that we have plenty of energy to get through the day, that's all misinformation, and you need to learn the truth about those things. But sugar handling is very important. If you don't maintain a normal range of blood sugar, it causes all kinds of problems in the body, including inflammation, including chemical stress. It really wreaks havoc on your body. So we've got to determine if you have a sugar handling issue, and that can be a common cause for a lot of symptoms. Next one is you have to determine how your gut is functioning. Now, when I say gut, I'm talking about the stomach. I'm talking about the colon, the small intestines. You've got several contributing factors. You've got the liver and the pancreas and all these different things. But the gut itself comprises 80% of your immune system. So you have to determine, do you have leaky gut syndrome, which we'll go into in the future? Do you have dysbiosis, which is where the bacterial content of the stomach is out of balance? What exactly is going on in the gut, and is that a problem and is that a challenge? Do you have inflammation in the gut? We have to rule these things out, and we have to determine if that's a problem. If it is, we have to get in there and fix it. The next one, which is fairly common, are antigens. We can have parasitic infections, we can have subclinical fungal infections, we can have subclinical bacterial or viral infections. Just different antigens in our body that are causing an immune response in the body and causing an inflammatory response in the body. Environmental toxins, we already talked about that. Food sensitivities. Food sensitivities are huge. A lot of people are sensitive to specific foods. For example, gluten is all the rage right now. Everybody is going gluten-free, and there are some good things about that, and it's very good to go gluten-free, but you have to do it the right way. A lot of people do it the wrong way and actually end up going down a path of worse health because of the so-called healthy foods that they think they're eating. Diet is a major component. That's definitely got to be up here with food sensitivities. But diet is a major component, and you really have to have the right information about what foods are good for you and your body. And we do specific testing to determine exactly what foods you can eat, what foods you should be eating. If you can't eat them, we teach you how to avoid them and what to do instead. It's a very important factor with all this. And then last but not least, that's when we get into the specific organs. So for example, I was talking about if you were a thyroid patient, you were hypothyroid, that most hypothyroid patients don't have a thyroid problem. Well, that's usually true because the thyroid gland itself is not functioning properly, but it's not functioning properly because of all of this stuff. Okay, you've got to rule all these things out. And one thing I almost forgot to mention, you've got gut function, we talked about inflammation, but you have to have normal immune function. And this is twofold. Can't even spell immune function. This is twofold. Normal immune function means that your immune system is functioning strong enough to handle anything that might come in, because we're always exposed to different bacteria and viruses. And a normal, healthy immune system can handle these things and get you through it without any kind of problem. So you have to make sure that you have a functioning immune system that can handle normal day-to-day activities, but you also have to make sure that you don't have an overactive immune system. An overactive immune system is one where your body is actually attacking itself, and that is very common in conditions such as hypothyroidism. A condition called Hashimoto's hypothyroiditis is where the body is actually creating antibodies that are attacking parts of the thyroid gland. Rheumatoid arthritis, Sjorgen's syndrome, all these different autoimmune conditions are situations where we have an overactive immune system. So you got to have that immune system balanced. And if you don't have that balance, then that can cause problems for you, and that can be a cause of the symptoms that you're having. So, we spent quite a bit of time on talking about causes versus symptoms, and the reason we did that is because you have to understand that, number one, your symptom that you're experiencing is important. It's important we know that because it's important that we know how your life is being affected, and it's a warning signal, hey, there's something majorly wrong with your body. But we can't just chase the symptom. We've got to go after the cause. And this is a list of some of the causes we go after. We look at everything possible. In our office, we never guarantee results for patients because you can't. You don't know how compliant a patient's going to be. We don't know how your body's going to respond. You cannot guarantee results. Even though we get phenomenal results, we don't guarantee them. But what I can guarantee you is we will turn over every stone and look everywhere possible to try to figure out what the cause of your problem is and do what's necessary. Okay, so it's March, and this is the time of year where everybody's wanting to get active because the weather's getting so much better. You can see all the joggers getting out and starting to get into exercise programs. And a lot of our patients, especially a lot of our people that have opted in for more information about our thyroid program, this is when they really start to notice the effects of how they're feeling because they can't get out there and do the things they want to, or they're not willing to go out to the beach because they're not comfortable with how their body looks and they're not confident in themselves. So we do this special in March because we want to help you reach your goals and help you get back to a normal life. So what do these visits include? Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a complete case review. I'm going to have you actually come in and share with me what your story is. I want to know detail to detail what exactly has happened. I actually have most patients write down their stories so that we don't miss any of these details because a lot of times, the devil's in the details. A lot of times we can find clues to let us know where we need to explore to figure out what's going on with you. So we're going to go an in-depth, deep case review and history with you. We're going to review labs that you've had doctors run for you in the past. You're going to bring those into me, and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to review these for you. I'm going to review your case and figure out what is going on with you. The next thing is we're going to do a goal review. What are your goals? Do you want to lose 30 pounds? Do you want to just get the energy to be able to function through life, to be able to play with your kids when you get home from work? Do you want to get your sex drive back? Do you want to feel like you again? What exactly are your goals? And then we set up realistic expectations to know when those goals will be met and what might have to happen for you to achieve those goals. We're going to do a complete neurological evaluation. We talked about how brain function is so important to the overall ability of the body to heal itself, and we need to determine, is there transneural degeneration? Are you losing neurological function and don't even know it yet? We're going to find that out. We're going to do x-rays if necessary. We're going to study what the structure of your body is doing so that we can know, structurally, is there an issue that's keeping you from healing? If they're medically necessary, we will do these x-rays and we'll figure out what, again, is going on with you. We're going to do a complete neurological evaluation. Metabolic evaluation. In the lab review that we talked about, I've got very specific questionnaires that you're going to fill out. We're going to know how your thyroid's functioning. We're going to know how your adrenal glands are functioning, your kidneys. We're going to know how your liver, your gut, how your body's processing sugar, how your brain function's occurring, what your neurotransmitters are doing. We're going to know all this stuff by the time we're done. Then we're going to sit down and we're going to go through a report of findings. And I'm going to report back to you everything that I found. You're going to learn more about yourself in that appointment, and you're going to understand more about what's going on with you after that appointment than you've ever known before. At that point, we're also going to go over any financial obligations. If you have insurance, you'll know about insurance coverages. If you have any out-of-pocket, you'll know what that'll be at that point. And then we also offer one complimentary session if you're a patient that does qualify for our program and someone that we feel like we could help you. And let me tell you right now, if you qualify for our program, there's nothing out there that's going to help you like this program will help you. If you don't qualify for the program, I'll help direct you in the right direction of where you need to go to get help. But if you qualify for our program, we're going to go ahead and include a complimentary session for you to come in and see what a treatment is like in our office, see what a brain-based treatment is like, see what we do to try to help you heal and help you get better. So this is a total of 3 visits. The first visit is where we're sitting down and talking and reviewing everything. Then I'm going to take all that information and I'm going to sit down and write up your report of findings and write up your plan for what we're going to do for you. On the second visit, we're going to sit down, we're going to talk about that report of findings. I'm going to explain to you exactly what's going on, show you what your plan is, and then the third visit, you're going to come in, you're going to get the complimentary treatment to see what you want to do. Now, the total value of these visits is between $450 and $500. That's for 3 visits in our office, quite possibly about 2 hours of my time dedicated to your case to figure out what is going on with you and what we can do about it. And again, it's a cost of between $450 to $500. A lot of times we'll offer special offers for this where you can come in and do this for discounted rates. But for March, we're trying to encourage as many people as possible to get back to normal life. So we're going to do this for $27. That's all 3 of these visits for only $27. The catch is you've got to be in here and get this done before March 28th. That's a Thursday. You got to be here before March 28th. If you come in March 29th or if you schedule your appointment March 29th, it's going to be the full fee. Okay? So give us a call. Take advantage of this. Phone number is 850-862-2224. You cannot lose. You're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to have 3 incredible visits into our office. It's going to be well worth your $27. I highly encourage you to do it. Okay? 862-2224.